And this, I mean, the term aggressiveness is always a bit of a subjective one, so actually this is a little bit better their description of it because it's more operationalised in terms of saying what it means. And it's, you know, partly what you're looking at in the main is the number of clean blows that's landed, Muay Thai techniques that are landed with accuracy and power. And that doesn't matter whether you're moving backwards, sideways or against the ropes. In other words, you haven't got to be moving forwards to win. You can win moving backwards as long as you're scoring effectively. You don't have to always walk forwards. It's not necessarily the deciding factor. Ring generalship, so controlling the action. Again, quite subjective. This is probably less subjective. And then last is just what we might call aggressiveness, is just trying to force the action, is a more minor aspect of the fight. So what we've got really there from the 70% thing is two things really. One, that you're landing accurately, and so there's different targets actually that tended to be favoured, we'll look in a minute, but also then effect. And that can be, the effect can be two real things. One, that you disturb the opponent's physical balance, physical equilibrium, that they can't perform properly because they're not on balance. Or psychologically, in other words, they show pain or fear, they turn away, or they show them in hit. And they're things that the judges will look for. They don't feel the techniques, but they try and assess by a series of cues. Now, it's important, therefore, to not to do these things if you're trying not to get scored on. So you try not to show pain, try not to show you're so tired you can't keep position. You're actually, it doesn't matter being tired, everybody's tired, it's just that what you show in the ring, it isn't good if you are going to be showing it to your judges, or you're showing you frightened, or you're showing pain. You need to make sure that you show you're strong, not losing position easy and not showing frightened. They're quite key things. So they're making a judgment of various things, like, for example, techniques are easily seen generally score well, so a clean kick to the body, clean knee to the body, punch and elbow that cause the opponent to move or show pain. They're clear scoring techniques. We'll have a look at some of the other things that tend to be not as clear cut, maybe, but that are in the spirit of the sport, but maybe not necessarily a specific technique that moves a fighter. So you've got a range of things really. You've got the quality of techniques, so that cause visual effect, that cause the opponent to feign. You know, you might cleanly kick somewhere, and you also there's a trade-off between that and effect. So sometimes clean hitting the target on the body is a good scoring if you don't move the fighter. So it's not always about did you move the fighter in, and it's not always did you move the fighter in. Maybe the fighter's off balance, and this is really important for you as a fighter because where you focus when you're delivering a technique, it becomes important if you're kicked and you're actually off balance and you move, it's a bigger score. So landing on balance becomes really key. And one of the differences between the Thais at the time I looked at and the UK lads was not particularly balanced before delivery, that was okay, it was balance after delivery, they were much less balanced. In other words, they fell back a little bit, or they weren't so controlled as they fell back. And if then they were hit, they were moved quite a bit, even if there was no power in the shot, relatively not. Whereas if they're really solid position, it's much more difficult to move. So balancing between techniques becomes really important in not getting scored upon, just as much as not showing fright or any pain when you do it. There's different styles of fighters. Just to illustrate two different styles of fighters, these are two very famous fighters, older fighters now, but one's moving backwards and winning, and one's moving forwards and winning. So red boxer in both. Virapal first, so we'll have a look against Sukhothai Taximeter from Sisipapa Gym at the time. So we got the boxer moving backwards, who's also WBC boxing champion. Is the boxer in control? Now he's position strong, he's moving backwards the whole fight. You could even argue potentially that Sukhothai is even busier, but he's not winning. He loses the fight and he's off balanced and the fight's controlled. So not only is he scoring well, but he's also controlling the action. He's actually controlling the fight, the boxer in the red shorts, Virapal. And when he hits, he's causing effect. And he's keeping balance, and he's moving back, and he's not losing position when he's getting hit, or at least mostly he's not losing position. And it's a global thing, it's a holistic picture rather than an individual shot. So he's controlling the fight. Now we've got an attacking boxer here. This is Sanchur Narapai, again in the red shorts. So he's moving forward, again at the time, former boxer of the year a long time ago. He's probably about getting on to 50 now. Sunshine. But this time you notice he's just sort of getting kicked, but you notice in a minute when his opponent's moving back, he gets kicked, he's moving, he's not moving back in position. When he's kicked, he's actually losing position. Sometimes he's managing to block, but often when like there, he's actually not in a solid position, he's not moving back in the stance and able to keep there, even more so, bigger effect. So in fact, this time the boxer's coming forward, but he's actually causing much more effect. The boxer's going backwards, not able to maintain position, and so losing. So it's not always that, as it was on that slide, it's not always whether you come forward or backwards, but controlling position and balance is important. And obviously neither of these are all professionals, they're not showing the hurt, even if they are, they're not showing frightened.